Hi, I'm David Cantor with the law offices of David Michael Cantor, and welcome to my blog. The Thanksgiving holidays are coming up, and the East Valley DUI Holiday Task Force is going to kick into high gear. Now, what happens is every Thanksgiving, all the way through every weekend in December, the police department puts out their East Valley DUI Task Force. This is a collection of agencies that go out and round up people at night who they think might be impaired, or actually they round up anyone who's made a traffic violation. Then they check them to see if they have alcohol in their breath, and then they'll haul them in and get a blood or a breath test. Basically, they've done this every year for the past 15 to 20 years in order to get the word out to not drink and drive. What I suggest is what's called the Rule of 8 if you're in the Phoenix metro area. The Rule of 8 is this. First of all, if you're going to have more than 2 drinks, you should say, I'm going to get a ride home from somebody. So the second you order your 3rd drink, make that decision. The Rule of 8 is 480-888-8888. That's Yellow Cab's phone number. Memorize that. Rule of 8. There's 3 area codes in the Phoenix metro area. Only one of them has an 8 in it, 480, and all the rest are 8s. So you know, I need to get a ride. I'm going to go ahead and get a ride home. But what do you do if you are stopped? Well, if you did have a few drinks and you are stopped and you think, gee, I feel fine, I'll just cooperate. Don't. You have to be aware that you're going to be subjected to tests which they will write down on paper what your performance is, and there won't be a videotape of what actually occurred. So if you're stopped for a DUI and an officer says, sir, have you been drinking? Or they say, sir, did you rob a bank? Or sir, did you kill 10 people? The answer to all 3 questions is the same. I'm not going to answer questions or do any tests until I talk to my lawyer. Now, by saying that, you didn't lie. You also didn't confess. If they hold up a pen and say, follow the pen, please, you say, am I free to go? No, then I need to call my lawyer. They're going to arrest you, but they're going to arrest you anyway. They'll take you down to the station or command post. Call us. We have a 24-hour answering service, 24-hour pager. We'll talk to you. Normally on a first offense, you'll do a blood or a breath test. Second offense with 7 years, you won't. And then they'll get a warrant and draw your blood, and we can discuss all of that also. But the idea is you're giving them as little evidence to use against you as possible. So at trial, they'll say, well, I saw him weave, I pulled him over, he smelled of alcohol, and then I arrested him, and then I got a breath test and I sent him home. And that's all they can testify to. The jury's going to go, why didn't you ask them to do field tests? Well, they can't say they did, because then they'd have to say you asked for a lawyer, and that would be commenting on your right to remain silent under the 5th Amendment. So they're banned from saying any of that. So it's a very limited portion of evidence. And then all that's left is fighting about the reading. And that's how cases are won. You have to beware of what's called subjective and objective evidence. If it's a reading, you understand, there it is what it is, and then you can talk about reading issues. However, how did he look when he walked a straight line? Oh, he looked terrible. How did he look when he just stood there? Oh, he looked really awful, like he was impaired by alcohol. Those are all subjective, and that's the problem. So keep that in mind, the Rule of 8, then you won't need to call me, which means I can sleep during the holidays. So remember the Rule of 8. If you're going to have more than 2 drinks, definitely get a ride or bring a designated driver. Take care.